Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Paul, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh, all alone tonight, so give me a call. 412-575-2600 is the number. You can also tweet me at Richie Walsh. We're going to be talking about the Steelers. Big winners today, 26-24. And I was trying to think of the last time the Steelers actually won a game when the opposing team missed the field goal. I was thinking back maybe 2005, Vanderjagt, but all these years kind of run together, and I couldn't really think of one time lately that they've won a game because the other team missed a field goal. They've missed field goals many times to lose games. Not many, but I can think of a few more than I can think of another team losing because they kicked a field goal. All right, so if you know the answer to that, call me up, 412-575-2600. But, you know, it was a pretty good win for the Steelers. They needed to win this game to stay in the playoff hunt. And right now they're 4-4 after 8 games. Now, I thought they would be a little bit better when you looked at the record before the season. But after getting out to an 0-3 start, you have to be pretty happy with the way they've played lately. They've been winning games. They've been getting lucky. You know, like Cam Hayward said today, the football gods were with them. But it was because of their defense, I think, and that is now becoming the strength of this team and causing turnovers. They had 3 again today. It was an interception by Minkah Fitzpatrick, in my mind, really turned things around. It looked like the Colts were going to go in and score, at least get 3 points right there. Minkah stepped in front, ran it back 96 yards, and all of a sudden, you know, the game's tied, and it felt like that the Steelers were, you know, getting some control of this game. And if you're going to ask me where the turning point was, I think, again, it was Minkah Fitzpatrick. He did it last week with an interception, and he did it again this week. And, you know, if you were one of the ones out there complaining that the Steelers gave up too much to get him, well, I think they got the better end of that deal. You know, if you could draft Minkah Fitzpatrick and know what he was going to do in the first round, you would take it. So I think it was a great deal looking back at it. I liked it then. I like it even better now. So the Steelers don't have a first rounder next year, but they got a playmaker, maybe the biggest playmaker on defense right now. And we've seen Devin Bush make some plays. We've seen TJ Watt make. The Steelers are second in the NFL in turnovers, right behind the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots losing in Baltimore right now. So, unfortunately, Steelers have to be big fans of the Patriots today because you need the Ravens to lose. You need to try to you need to gain some ground on the Ravens right now, who are leading the division up 2 games. But if you can get it to 1 game, then there's a realistic possibility that you could potentially win the division. But right now, the Steelers are sitting in 7th place. They're right on the outside looking in of that final wild card spot. They're also facing Buffalo. Buffalo is a team that they would need to catch. They also are going to face the Ravens one more time, but you need to be in striking distance. You know, that last game has to be a 1-game difference between the 2 teams. And I don't know if it will be. I don't know if I see 3 more losses. I counted tonight. Well, I actually picked the Ravens to win on our Steelers pregame show. But I thought tonight was a realistic possibility of the Ravens losing and maybe being exposed because the Patriots are clearly head and shoulders above everyone else, but maybe not clearly, you know. But I think the Steelers are the best team among the group of wild card contenders. You know, I think maybe Buffalo are frauds. The Titans, I think the Steelers are better than both of those teams. So, and then you're going to have one of the 2 teams between either the Colts or the Texans probably get in as a wild card. You know, I think all those teams are beatable. You know, the one team for the Steelers that's not beatable would be the Patriots. And I think the Steelers just need to get in. And now they're back into the conversation. That's why this was so important, this game, because it was an AFC game. If you're going to lose one of these next 2 games, losing against the Rams is better than losing against the Colts. You want to have a good AFC record. You want the tiebreakers. You want to be ahead of these teams if it comes down to, you know, trying to rank who's in and who's out. And that's what it's going to come down to. I think a 9-7 team would get in. And I've said, if you look at history, odds are the Steelers were going to win 7 out of their last 10 games. That's what Mike Tomlin has done after the bye week. He's 70% after the bye week since taking over, and they had 10 games left. So you would think, if history is an indicator, that they would win 7 out of 10 games. And right now they're well on their way to doing that. So 4-4 is not a bad place to be after 8 games, especially because they started 0-3. We're going to be taking your phone calls, 412-575-2600. All Steelers all the time. Tonight, a big 26-24 win over the Colts, which puts them right back in the conversation. Postseason conversation, that is. We're back in 2 minutes.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.